AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals taking on the champions from the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis and CD, the Bengals. Well, they're officially no fluke. Champions of the AFC for a second consecutive year.
And how about the Cincinnati Bengals franchise? Before last year, they had not won a playoff game since January of 1991. They are now 0-3 in Super Bowls with the loss last year to the Rams. 2 previously to Joe Montana, the 49ers in the 1980s, looking to get their first championship in this one.
Meanwhile, the Minnesota Vikings are back in the big game for the 5th time in franchise history. But we all know one thing has eluded them all these years.
And that's an actual Super Bowl victory, partner. They're 0-4 in their previous visits. Super Bowls 4, 8, 9, and 11. And boy, they had some great teams too, didn't they? Bud Grant was their head coach. Fran Tarkenton, a quarterback. Alan Page and the Purple People Eaters on defense. They were all Hall of Famers. And don't forget Paul Krause. He's a very proud member of that great secondary they had. So we're going back more than 40 years since their last visit. You think the state of Minnesota is excited about this one? I know they are. They're ready to get this one going.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to. And he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handle winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things. And then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team the best chance to win.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Everyone rolls into the Super Bowl saying, hey, I'm confident, I'll just do what I did before. But let's face it, you got to be wary of the jitters going into a big game like this. Super Bowl is unlike any other game you're going to play.
And now he's starting out 0 for 2. We'll see if he can rebound. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. Fielded at the 20. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
The nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Quick throw here to Hilton. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 11 more yards then go around, a 1st down as well. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Watson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Jimmy Graham, 30 yards. And the Bengals are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to let it all loose.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing is Cousins. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
He's got a man. Complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. First carry for James Conner. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
From the red zone now, Cousins. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
So we've seen some good pressure defensively already here in the first quarter. Here's another good example.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Cousins. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the 1st. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Butker's kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he returns this to the 22. Bengals drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Watson off play action. This is caught by Hilton. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Well, welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year. Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter 2. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run it again with Henry. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard after the 45. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He completes it to Julio Jones. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
It's going to be close. He didn't get much at all there, but he got the first. Looked like they might have held him defensively, but the referee signals it will be a first down on their own side of the field. Close to the 50, but their own side of the field. They only needed a couple of inches, and they were able to get it done.
And it doesn't matter whether you're a zone blocking team, a man blocking team, gap blocking, whatever you want to call it. When it's in this situation, it's really man on man, isn't it? Who's going to win the battle? And right there we saw it at the point of attack. Find enough yardage to pick up a first down. Give him credit for that one.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The throw over the middle taken in. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 23. A good pickup there at 20 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here. These last few plays, they've moved right down the field. And just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
Watson. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time to have a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he bowls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Derrick Henry, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge. And that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
He'll try and run for it with Connor. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Right back to Connor here on 1st. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A very solid gain of 27. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. On 2nd down and 4, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. Steps away to his left. Man open, and St. Brown has got it. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Connor. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. James Conner, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bengals drive about to get going. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Watson, he finds his target. It's Schultz. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Looking for the crossing receiver. He's got him. This is Hilton. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 and the 24. The Bengals drive about to get going. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Again, it's Henry. And he's got a Bengals first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's not locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Watson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Tyus Bowser blowing that play up.
That's exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum, because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. On is the punter, Johnston, now, as he sends this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half. Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Cousins. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. They lost 2, and it brings up 4.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Taken at the 37. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
At their own 40-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 75 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 33. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Third quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10. Now it's Watson. Fighting Hill. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake, Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
In Super Bowl 57. Here's a 2nd and 10. They'll try the jet sweep with Kirk. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Cousins. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Bengals drive about to get going. Now, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So, in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, trying to atone for it here on this drive.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? He'll drop to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Schultz. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Inside handoff, Henry. And he's got a Bengals first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 108 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the Super Bowl.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick 6 here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now 17-14. Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now to kick this one away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this could become a career-defining drive for some. Down 3. Fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. This is where the legends are made in the National Football League as they begin this drive 1st and 10. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Running left, it's Henry. And he's got some space here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19. A couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
And the busy night for Henry continues.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and 6.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. They'll try the air now with Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Touchdown! Julio Jones. 27 yards. And the Bengals have regained the lead in the second half of this Super Bowl. So the quarterback able to keep the play alive with his feet and then have the poise to make the touchdown pass.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one totally. Not just the poise, but being able to keep his eyes downfield, because often when a quarterback starts to move around, they're moving around to run the football. Not in this case, moved around to keep the play alive, to find an open receiver, bingo.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we're at the time in the Super Bowl where, look, they need points. Well, they need them badly, trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 62 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ballgame.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A give running right is counter, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Cousins now. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback to just throw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. So that's that was impressive. He got out of 3, maybe 4 tackles there on his way to the end zone.
And a lot of times when you break a tackle or slip a tackle, it actually slows you down. That's what we were taught. If you don't make the play, make him stop his feet so someone else can get there and tackle him. But not here. He just kept right on going.
Tucker with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Vikings now to start their next drive. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Jacobs with a carry on first down as he'll get about 3 there before he's taken down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD. The mistake there by the offense, Charles, they tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tagged as one of the best in the league the prior season.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the 4th quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory as they have been outplayed tonight. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Cousins. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too.
No let-up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold-up 4 fingers college sign.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Julio Jones, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Bengals are starting to pour it on at the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Tucker with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25.
Bengals 42, Vikings 17. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive 1st and 10. 82 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. A good gain on first, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Vikings. Josh Jacobs, 65 yards. And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Butker on for the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, the Vikings are pointing. They've got it. Minnesota football. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
Well, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of the drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
From just shy of midfield, Cousins eluding the pressure right. This is caught. It's Kirk. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Cousins to throw it. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 14. From the red zone now, Cousins. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bungle. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Justin Simmons. And the Bengals are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He goes right back the way of Hilton. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Throwing now, Watson. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Vikings are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, right now, it's clearly the defenses that are stealing the spotlight in the biggest stage of sports. That's only the 4th time ever, Charles, that we have seen teams trade interceptions on back-to-back drives. And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. But with the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough...
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Adam Thielen, 35 yards. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, they certainly have the look of a team with something to prove, don't they? All week, as we prepared for this game, we kept reading about how they said they're going to play a full 60 minutes this week. Has nothing to do with their opponent. No disrespect intended, but they wanted to be people of their word, playing this thing all the way out, trying to finish it strong.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Bengal Nation rejoice. Cincinnati has given you the Super Bowl title. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way. Didn't have to face some adversity in the journey. And now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.